Every morning, the sun rises as our eternal guardian. It warms the oceans, drives the winds, and makes life on Earth possible. For all of human history, we have depended on it, worshipped it, and trusted it. But what if one day the sun turned against us? What if it unleashed a storm so powerful that it could bring our world to its knees, not in centuries or millennia, but in a single day? This is not a fantasy. Solar storms are real. They happen when the sun ejects massive bursts of plasma and magnetic energy into space. Most of the time, Earth is spared or shielded by its magnetic field. But every once in a while, a storm of unimaginable magnitude is launched directly at us. Scientists call these events coronal mass ejections, and history has already given us a chilling glimpse of what such a storm can do. In 1859, long before satellites, smartphones, or the internet, the Earth was struck by what is now known as the Carrington Event. Telegraph lines, the cutting-edge technology of the time, burst into flames. Operators reported sparks leaping from their machines. And across the world, the skies lit up with auroras so bright that people thought night had turned into day. Farmers in Cuba woke in the middle of the night, believing the sun had already risen. It was beautiful, terrifying, and unforgettable. But if the same storm struck today, the outcome would be catastrophic. Our modern world is a web of fragile technology. Satellites orbiting above us would be fried instantly by the onslaught of charged particles. GPS signals would vanish, communications would fail, and weather monitoring would collapse. Down on Earth, the electric grid, the lifeblood of our civilization, would be overwhelmed. Transformers would explode. Power lines would melt. Entire cities would plunge into darkness, not for hours, not for days, but for months or even years. Imagine it. You wake up one morning and everything is gone. No internet, no phones, no lights, airplanes grounded, hospitals running on failing backup generators. The silence of a world without power is deafening. Food supply chains grind to a halt. Gas pumps stop working. Banks, which exist as nothing more than numbers in a server, are erased from daily life. Chaos spreads not because of violence from above, but because the infrastructure we built to sustain billions of lives collapses all at once. Scientists have warned us again and again that this scenario is not just possible, it is inevitable. The sun is not a gentle star. It is a raging nuclear furnace, constantly throwing out storms of energy. Most are harmless, but some are colossal. And statistically, we are overdue for another Carrington-level event. Some researchers estimate there is at least a 12% chance of such a storm hitting Earth in the next decade. In cosmic terms, that is almost a certainty. The unsettling truth is that we are not prepared. Modern satellites are vulnerable. Power grids, though resilient to lightning and storms, were never designed to withstand the fury of the sun itself. Governments have discussed hardening infrastructure, but the cost is enormous, and the threat feels abstract until the day it happens. And by then, it will be far too late. If a supersolar storm struck tomorrow, humanity would survive, but our world would not look the same. The loss of power could last for months in some regions, years in others. Billions of dollars in economic damage would only scratch the surface of the real toll. Lives disrupted, cities paralyzed, nations pushed to the brink of collapse. Unlike earthquakes or hurricanes, we would not rebuild quickly. We would claw our way back from darkness slowly, painfully, one broken circuit at a time. And yet, perhaps the most haunting thought is not the destruction itself, but how quietly it would begin. There would be no warning siren, no mushroom cloud, no blast wave. The first sign might be an aurora glowing strangely bright above your home. You might step outside, mesmerized by curtains of green and red light dancing across the sky. It would feel magical, otherworldly, but behind that beauty lies devastation. As you watch, satellites above are already falling silent. Power grids are already overloading. The sun, the same star that gave us life, is writing a new chapter in our story, one of survival, not progress. The question is not whether this will happen, but when. In the grand sweep of cosmic time, humanity has only just begun to walk, and yet already, we live under the shadow of the sun's fury. The Carrington Event of 1859 was a warning, The smaller storm of 1989, which blacked out the entire province of Quebec in 90 seconds, was another. How many warnings do we need before we accept the truth? The day the sun turns against us will not be the end of humanity, but it could be the end of the world as we know it. A single storm, unleashed in a single day, could rewind centuries of progress. And when the lights finally return, if they ever do, we may find ourselves living in a world unrecognizable from the one we once knew. So tonight, when you see the sun dip below the horizon, remember, it is not only our greatest ally, but also our greatest threat. The same star that gives us life has the power to take it all away. And one day, perhaps soon, it will.